What's up, everyone? Thank you so much for tuning in to another great episode of the Pause Rewind Play podcast. We were chilling, hanging out, talking recently, and by chilling, I mean remotely chatting through text and through the cyberspace of Google Meetings and all of that while recording podcasts. And we're like, what if we did more movie news? What if we actually talked about rumors, what's happening in the world a little bit more, and kind of talked about that because that's kind of fun stuff that we don't really get into very often. And here we are. We're going to give this a test. And by test, I mean we got some topics to go over. So, yeah, we got the regular reoccurring cast here tonight. We got Vince. How's it going, man?
Hey, I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, so good. I'm just setting up my backyard for a movie night tomorrow night with my wife's family, which should be a ton of fun. So,
That sounds
could be a good
awesome.
time.
Getting that projector set up.
Got that projector live set up. Also got some of them cute yard lights, making our house look kitsch. I don't know, chic,
Sounds
cool,
right.
styling. I don't know, one of those
Cool.
things.
All of the above.
Rad sauce. We're gonna make it look super Huga, so when people come over, they can get in the zone. But yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. Josh, what about you, man? How's life been?
Life has been excellent, and I am definitely looking forward to that movie night tomorrow at Casey's place because I am part of Casey's sister's family. So,
Yeah,
haha.
Josh will be over
So,
here raiding the house. Vince, if you want to come, you're now invited. You're part of my family. You're my longest friend. So.
Well, thank you. Thank you for the invite. Thank you for the acceptance into the family. I've been waiting for this day for so long.
wait. So, real question: is Vince now a part of Casey's family, or since it's the Wilt Bank movie night, is he a part of our family now? So he can be
Yeah.
in both of our. I guess if Vince is in the family, he's just in our family as a general.
Bingo, right there. He's something in there going around. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Well, I'm glad you're both doing well. Let's I guess since we've talked last, do either of you guys have anything new that you've been watching that's really been making the rounds, making your world a little bit better, or anything like that?
I just watched the episode of Bob's Burgers where he gets his butt glued to the toilet. Just had to shout that out. It's a freaking hilarious episode.
Oh man. What about you, Josh? Anything?
Definitely yes, I have, except for it's kind of part of my movie news, so I'll save it for a little bit later.
Cool. Okay. We'll save it. Well, I'm just going to say one thing since you talked about gluing a butt to the toilet. My wife has been watching Grey's Anatomy lately with Dr. McDreamy and all of that.
Heyo.
And wow, yeah, that's an interesting show. I now have more respect for medical workers than I already did, which is cool. And the medical series on TV, what a weird, creepy thing. I guess that's all I got to say about it. What a weird, creepy thing.
Believe it or not, Case, I have watched literally every single episode of Grey's Anatomy. It started just sort of as oh yeah, I've heard this show is good. And then as I got to watching it, obviously it was more of a soapy show than I would normally watch. But by then I was already pretty heavily invested. So even though they just keep on going and keep rolling out the new seasons, I've already put so much time into watching it that I just can't stop now. So I have watched every episode of Grey's Anatomy, and I am not ashamed of it.
Nice.
I've watched quite a bit, but not as much as you apparently. So that's kind of rad. Well, I guess now we've talked a little bit of movie news and what we've been watching. Let's talk about real movie news then. What's going on in the world? Vince, do you kind of want to start out? Do you got something?
Yeah, I pulled up a few different stories, but Josh, if you wanna go first, man, let's hear what you got.
Yeah, definitely. So obviously the world has been in a little bit of a shutdown and stuff for a while, and there hasn't been a ton of stuff that's been new coming out because either they're waiting for a real release in a theater or just production has been halted or a lot of stuff. So we've sort of seen a standstill as far as new stuff coming out. And so my movie news has to do a little bit with a couple movies that were released this past weekend, some new content for us, as well as an upcoming one, which no one has any doubts that I'm excited about. So the upcoming one, of course, is Tenant. You guys didn't even need me to say that. You know how pumped I am for that. Currently, it's set for an August 12th release date, which is a Wednesday, sort of weird, but I was all about that. So just, as soon as possible, just get it to me. So the little like movie news, I guess this is sort of like, it's nothing that's like really super exciting. Just as we get closer, people are talking more and more about Tenet. And one of the main actresses in Tenet is Elizabeth. I'm gonna slaughter this, Debicki, I guess. Elizabeth Debicki. So she was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. She was the Gold Lady. She was in Widows. She was in The Great Gatsby. She's been in a lot of stuff, and she's very talented. She almost didn't get her role, which is one of the main roles in the movie in Tenet, because Christopher Nolan watched her in Widows, and in Widows, she plays an American character. And Christopher Nolan said that he was looking for a really strong, like, British role, like, person for this role. And it wasn't that, like, he didn't want somebody to act. He just was like, we need, like, a British person, sort of like an Elizabeth Rose person to play this role. He watched her in Widows, and she was so good with her American accent and everything that when Christopher Nolan's wife suggested her for this role that he was writing, he immediately like dismissed it, because he's like, no, I want like a real like British or something person. She's actually Australian, but just like he wanted someone who's like not like American, someone just with like that sort of like accent, which is very similar to the British accent. So then as soon as he found out that she was Australian, he offered her the role immediately without even an audition, and she insisted in auditioning, and she got the part, obviously. So she is one of the many actresses that I'm looking forward to seeing in that movie. Her, and there's just a lot of good stuff all circling around, and I'm getting super pumped. And even though I read this, I'm doing my best to really not read anything about Tenet, because no spoilers, guys. Holy cow, I would be super mad if I read any spoilers about that online.
That was one of the headlines that I saw was movie theaters are basically saying if we don't open soon, if we don't start releasing movies soon, then the theaters are dead.
Yeah,
Like
they're gonna be
they
gone.
just can't keep pushing it like this.
Well, literally, they're just real estate that's bleeding out, because like the way movie theaters make money is having butts in seats and concession stands open and films to play. And as fun as it is to go to a movie theater, it's not fun to see a movie you've already seen, or that you can just like sit down on your couch in your underwear and watch. Like, let's be super real. Like, I can get on Disney Plus and watch any Marvel movie. I can get on like Hulu. I can get on any of these series and watch stuff. But like going to the theater and getting a fresh film, there is nothing more savory these days sounding. Like, I'm a food guy. I could just go for a nice hot dog in the movie theater. I don't even care. But
I'm
like,
a food guy. I want to go to the theater and eat this garbage food.
whoa, hot dogs are not garbage. Hot dogs are a utilitarian product, and everyone who like hates them needs to be shunned because they're wasteful. No, I'm just kidding. That's a terrible thing to say.
Hot dogs can be good if they're made right. I don't know if I trust a
Exactly.
movie theater hot dog though, Casey. You're gonna have to teach me.
I'll
Show
teach
me
you
the
how to.
ways.
I'll teach you how to set them up so they're like delicious. But
They're-
no, I really want new movies to come back out. Like, things need to happen, because can you imagine what are they going to do with theaters? Like, if they start going bankrupt or this type of thing, like that is such a huge part of American culture that people forget about, because movies are a big part. They're part of the dating culture. They're part of just hanging out with friends. They're part of so many things. Like, we need movies. So I'm excited. I've actually been doing more research on Tenant, so you've got me a little excited, Josh.
The movie theaters are just going to turn into these abandoned sort of wasteland places with random like lights flickering every once in a while. It's going to be like that one scene from Blade Runner 2049 where they have like the live show place where Harrison Ford and Ryan Gosling have that fight. It's going to be like that, but just with random flickerings of like Tenet, or just like the movies that were out when like the movie theater like shut down, like random movies just popping up on the screen while teenage kids are like graffitiing everywhere and stuff. So I'm gonna do this next part really quick, but just like that's like a movie that's set to come out about a month from now or so. So So that'll be cool. And so that's one side, a movie that Christopher Nolan said this movie is going to be released in the theater, like he's not cutting it to some streaming service or something like that. He says this movie needs a theater experience. We're going to have it come out in theater. We're going to do it safely, but it's what's going to happen is what he said. So on the other side of that, here's a couple movies that have come out or shortly come out on the other side of that are on streaming services. So firstly, one that I personally am excited for that's coming out on NBC's new streaming service, Peacock, is Psych 2, the movie. And this is sort of like TV movie, right? Because Psych, the series, was something that me and my family loved for a long time. Peacock is launching its streaming service in 3 days on July 15th. And Psych 2, Lassie Comes Home, is one of the first things that's going to be released as part of that whole streaming service deal, which will eventually involve and have The Office and tons of NBC classics. So there's that. Also, The Old Guard is a Netflix movie which is just released, currently number 1 on Netflix. I haven't seen it, so I can't tell you about it, but I will tell you that literally after we recorded our last podcast on Friday, I believe, and a movie that I was super looking forward to was set to come out on Saturday, and I went and I looked it up, and it said it's coming out Saturday at midnight Eastern time. And so I'm like, whoa, that's 10 o'clock here. And it was 10:05, and I went and I looked, and Palm Springs was on Hulu, and I watched it right then. And let me tell you guys, Palm Springs was awesome. Like, a lot of people think that like the sort of Groundhog Day thing can be beat to death, but they always find a new way to do something with it. Hilarious. Andy Samberg and Christina Militori are hilarious, so funny, and they really did find a way to do something new with this, and something that seems like they're never going to get out of it. It's kind of crazy, like twist ending, really funny. Just, I loved it. Like, I wanted to watch it again this weekend. I had to hold myself back because I have some other stuff I've been needing to watch. Just, it's definitely recommended. If you have Hulu, check out Palm Springs.
I can second that. I watched it this afternoon. It was great.
Yes.
It's the first time that there's been a Groundhog movie where there's been 2 people stuck in the same day instead of just the one person. So it was a nice little twist to it. I liked it.
So that's a good one. So that is my movie news. Is mostly focused around movie releases,
Cool.
stuff that has come out, stuff that will be coming out soon, and movie theaters versus streaming services.
Awesome. I've got a couple of stories. I've got one that I think you'll like, Casey. I've got one that I think Josh you'll like, and then I've got one that I think we'll all like, and then I've got one that I want to kind of dig deeper a little. Well, get your opinions on.
Sounds great.
So, first one, Fast and the Furious rumors. Ready for this, Casey? So, Ludacris apparently was having an interview. And the interviewee tossed out a question or a suggestion into the air, which is, will the Fast and the Furious ever go into outer space? Which is kind of the big like push on the internet right now. Everyone wants to see them go to space, right? Because where else are they supposed to go? And Ludacris's response was, "I will say that you are very intuitive because you said something right, but I'm not going to give it away." Basically hinting that they're going to be going to space in the next couple of movies at some point.
I love but hate that at the same time. Like, the part of me that just wants to like sit down and watch like a movie that is just so over the top and ridiculous is here for it. But at the same time, I'm just like, like, have you guys seen that meme where like it's a Rick and Morty meme where like someone says something and then it's Morty like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." Like, that's how I feel like every Fast and the Furious movie is now. It's like, oh, hey, let's how about this? Like, we'll go to Nepal and we're gonna do Fast and the Furious on the 7 roads in Nepal, and you have to escape the country, and you can only use pedal bikes to start out with, but then you have to trade your way up to a tank. And they're just like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in." And then like Dominic Toretto, family, I'm in, all of this stuff. And I'm like,
let's go to Samoa, and we're gonna bring a helicopter and have this like little like truck, and they're gonna grapple hook to it and like ride along on this cliffside. You son of a bitch, I'm in.
But that's The Rock, though. He's not here for this. Like, The Rock is doing his own crap. But like the main Fast family, like this could be really cool. I would be interested to see because I know that like that super hacker who's in the plane throughout all the movie where Han's girlfriend dies, Gal Gadot, like she's still out there. She could have moved to the International Space Station for all we know, or have a private one funded by the Russians. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Maybe The Rock's just gonna pick up their cars and throw them into outer space with his giant muscles. It's not out of the realm of possibility for that franchise.
No, nothing is. But I hope that they like. I want more films, and I want more of the original family films. Like The Rock is cool, and he was a good addition to parts of it, but he just needs to let the door hit him on the way out, in my opinion.
But you're in for outer space at least?
Yeah, I could go for it. I'm here for it.
I want to see how they get up there. I just exactly what you said. I'm in
In a
for a
Tesla.
rolling eyes good time.
All right, hear me out. Do you remember those old Hot Wheels tracks that had like the motor chargers that would like spin and do the loop? Like it had the one thing that was like whoosh, shoot your car. They're gonna build a large scale one of those, and they're gonna be going down the freeway, and then they're gonna have like 4 of those as it increases. And once they hit a certain point, they hit the NOS.
Launches them up.
NOS in combination with those little side engines, they're going to space for sure.
They're going to build a car with like some crazy magnet on the bottom, and they're going to break into NASA or SpaceX or something on the day of a launch and like have the cars like fly up and attach themselves to the rocket as it's taking off. There's a lot of ways it could do it because nothing is impossible in the fast world.
No,
but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. They can go to space. You got me. You son of a bitch. I'm in.
I'm in. All right,
I
cool.
want to hear what will appeal to me then.
Yep. Okay. So I don't remember if we talked about it on the last episode, but last week we watched Logan, and I ended up watching the noir version, which is the black and white version of the movie. They released a noir version in theaters because they were posting black and white photos of the movie, and the fans got behind it because they really liked it. So they thought it'd be cool, and it was coming right off the tails of Mad Max, where they released the shiny and chrome edition, which is the black and white edition. So it's kind of becoming this small trend. So the next movie to be re-released in a black and white edition is Parasite. Bong Joon-ho's Parasite.
Oh, I heard about that. I heard that they were going to do that. When did they already release it, or?
I don't think so. I think the trailer just came out. You can go and watch the trailer right now in the black and white. And I haven't watched it yet, but everyone's saying that it adds. Well, at least this article on Collider that I'm saying, I think it was Collider, was saying that it kind of adds an extra layer to what already is a masterpiece. Do you guys watch a lot of black and white movies?
Like, to answer your question, I don't know that I've ever watched any real like black and white movies besides the ones that were specifically made before, like The Wizard of Oz and all of the color and everything was put into it. I've seen older movies that are in black and white, but not like they could be in color, but they made it specifically that way, or they changed it to be in black and white. And I see how it could like add like a different layer because it focuses so much on the story and the people and everything that's happening. And it can, like, it doesn't specifically draw away from the production design, but it makes your focus be in one place. But I look at it, and while there was a lot of big production things like all of the rain and them being in this sort of subterranean house and everything like that, I feel like, Logan and Mad Max Fury Road, there's some of these just like huge scenes and everything where all this stuff is going down, we're seeing in black and white would just be like, whoa, this is so crazy. And I don't know if I would see the exact same thing come out of Parasite. I still see like the appeal, and I would, like, the next time I go to Parasite, I would definitely consider watching it like that. I just think that it might be, for me personally, like a better idea for like Logan or for Mad Max. But I'm still behind it. I still dig that.
Wasn't Sin City like black and white? Like,
yeah, I love that movie. That was their whole idea, was to match the comic book though for the Sin City movie, and so it's all black and white, but very specific things are in color, like a character's lipstick or like blood dripping off of someone, or a tie is in color, and that's it. Very very stylized. But this is just like literally the same movie, just in black and white. And I think it's cool. Like, I think it's cool that they're doing this with these kind of movies, like giving you another option to watch it. But after watching Logan in black and white, I was just kind of like, that was cool, but I would rather see it in color next time. I haven't done the Mad Max one yet. I'd like to, but I don't know. It's kind of cool. It's a good way to get something in theaters when nothing is coming out right now. It's being released in the UK, is what they're saying. So we won't get it here in the States in theaters, but it will eventually come to streaming in black and white if you want to see it that way. So watch out for that one. It's coming. So this one I think both of you guys will like, and me included. It is a Tarantino dream casting, basically. Tarantino has voiced interest, but has not said whether or not he will be doing a Kill Bill Volume 3. But he's met with Uma Thurman and kind of pitched ideas before. And the actress that plays, her name's Vivica A. Fox. What is her character in the movie? It's in the very first Kill Bill. They fight, and Vernita Green, I think her name is.
I forget. I haven't watched either of those in so long.
Okay, it's the beginning of Kill Bill Volume 1, I'm pretty sure, and they fight in the house, and Uma Thurman's character ends up killing her, and her daughter walks out and sees Uma Thurman's character, and then she leaves. And so the whole idea is that the Kill Bill Volume 3 would be Vivica A. Fox's character's daughter coming back for revenge on Uma Thurman's character, right? So there's been a lot of dream casting that's kind of been like floating around for years and years. Everybody wants another Kill Bill. Everybody loves that franchise, So Vivica A. Fox voiced her opinion, and she is all for Zendaya playing that child coming back and getting her revenge for the death of her mother. And I am so into this idea. I would love to see a kick-ass version of Zendaya in a Tarantino movie with this over-the-top kung fu version, kung fu world, I guess, fighting Uma Thurman to the death. It just sounds great to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
her in like anything recently, honestly. She's been killing it in everything that she freaking does. And so, yeah, I would definitely be 1,000,000% down for that. I just like thinking about it. Yeah, that could be super crazy. And Quentin Tarantino is always expanding his promise of only making 10 movies. And so by doing a Kill Bill Volume 3, that's just adding another one, because all the Kill Bills are just one movie. It doesn't count as a different one. And so he just expands it. And so I could be down for that. Like seeing Zendaya in a Tarantino violent kung fu movie. Hell yeah.
She's perfect for a Tarantino movie. She's perfect for everything she does. Like you said, ever since I saw her in Euphoria, I was like, oh, she is one of the best. Let's get her in everything.
I think she's come into like her own, and what's nice about her is she's not necessarily just a single note actress. She can play a lot of different parts. Like a couple years ago, she was in The Greatest Showman. She was in Euphoria. She's been in Spider-Man. Like, she has range, and so I would be interested to see this and kind of how it goes. So, yeah, you got my interest peaked in that. That's pretty rad. Actually, like, this is like a rumor going on right now that I saw earlier, and I was curious about it. But Zendaya and what's his name? Who's the guy in Tenant? John David Washington, is that his name? They actually are like have made like a film that's kind of like Marriage Story-esque currently. So it sounds kind of interesting. It's supposed to be more emotional and supposed to relate to the current climate of what's been going on. And so I'm kind of curious to see how it goes, because it sounds like a very fascinating thing.
I think I heard of that one. Was that the one that they like made from home or something, like under quarantine or something like that?
Yeah, I know that they it was like, I don't know about produced and planned, but I know that it's kind of been dubbed the first film to be like completed and made like during like the pandemic thing that's going on.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I haven't looked into it very much, but
Malcolm
I
and
think that's
Marie.
interesting. Yep,
Cool.
yep. Also, can I bring something up since I haven't brought up any fun movie news besides that? Have
Mhm.
you guys heard about this remake of The Princess Bride they're doing on Quibi? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
They're doing
What's
a
that?
remake?
Yeah, what's that face
It's
for, Vince?
it's
It's
not like a
it's
remake.
perfect.
It's not a remake as much as it is just like a celebrity, how can you say, like a celebrity, not a
Reenactment.
reenactment of it for like charity or something like that. It's
So
because
it's
it's
like
like
LARPing, but Princess Bride is what you're saying.
because
Like
it's
Okay,
live
like
so
action role play, Princess Bride, 10-minute
because like
showings.
the three
okay.
accountants from The Office are like Fezzik and Inigo Montoya and the smart guy, and then isn't like Jack Black one of the main characters,
Oh, that
and
sounds
then
actually really cool then.
so like it's
Yeah.
like meant to be like funny and stuff, not so much like a remake like they're doing it again. Although I have
Okay.
heard rumors about like an actual like real Princess Bride remake.
I don't think I'd be down for the complete remake, but if they want to reenact it for charity or for whatever, that seems like fun. I don't know. There's just some movies that just they were so well made. They stand the test of time. They're still entertaining to watch this day. Like if you
Mhm.
want to watch Princess Bride, we don't need a new version of the same thing. Just go watch Princess Bride. Like the old style is part of its charm, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
That'd
agree.
be cool. I'd watch the Quibi one. If I
Yeah.
didn't have to pay for Quibi.
Well,
John Hamm
that's the
is in
thing.
it.
Ooh, Casey.
Oh, John Hamm. Well, I haven't been watching. I guess like I haven't been paying attention to too much movie news to be honest with you guys, but I have been looking into a couple of films that I do want to watch. I'm doing this project where I watch one movie a day and then I write a review of it up on our blog. So one of the movies that looks super hilarious that I want to look into, it's called First Cow. Have you guys heard about this film?
Yeah, it's A24.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
A24's most recent film.
it looks awesome. So
I
I'm
haven't
really
watched
excited.
I haven't watched the trailer or anything. I don't know anything about it except for they cast the cow based on a headshot or something. Explain that to me.
Listen. If you look at genetics and heredity of cows, like there are certain like features that are very like desirable in a cow, and if a cow doesn't look like a cow should based off of children's books, like people don't believe it's a cow. Like I'm dead serious about this. Like there's a certain length of the mouth and the head, like a certain dimension of the neck.
Do not body shame this cow, Casey.
You can never body shame a cow. Like I'm just saying, like there are more desirable traits in
I'm
cows than
just kidding.
others. But
I'm just kidding.
no, I grew up doing like dairy and like showing cows at fairs. So unfortunately I know a little bit too much. I'm excited to watch that one. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I want to. I can't wait for that review to come out because that. I'm not kidding. That piqued my interest immediately when I saw that headline. It's like,
well
what?
it's
A24 and cat? What? What is this?
yeah, I'm super pumped to watch it. I actually have it planned to purchase it and watch it on what's today, Sunday. It's either for Tuesday or Wednesday, just because like I
Awesome.
have so many films. I'm trying to diversify what I'm watching a little bit because I could just bang out like an action movie a day and love it, but I'm trying to get a little bit more depth.
Mhm.
Which brings me to the next film actually that I'm gonna be looking at, which I'm curious if you guys have heard about or anything like that. It's actually called The Seventh Seal. It's a 1957 film. It's a historical fantasy, essentially. It's all shot in black and white and in Swedish. But essentially, it's about a knight who returns from the Crusades and is kind of like torn at faith, essentially because of what he's done, and all of this. And he ends up like having a long conversation with death. Um, it is a 1957 film, but on iTunes and every place I look to buy this film or rent it, it's still $15 to $20. Like this film holds up. It is fire. Like
Cool.
you can't even like get like the classic comedies of Abbott and Costello for that much. Like you can get those for cheap. Like but like this film that is in Swedish that is just this off the wall film in black and white and old, still like the same price as if I was buying a brand new freaking movie that was released this year. It's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna be watching, talking that.
That
But
sounds
that's
like it'll be a
essentially.
good one then.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
I'm super stoked about it. No, so yeah, that's kind of what movie news I have. Boring, I know.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but guys, I'm just gonna say one more thing. I think Alien Covenant was better than Prometheus.
No, I will disagree with you on that one.
That's why I brought that up, because I watched Prometheus the other day, and then today I was like, I have to watch Alien Covenant because I need the follow up, and I'm ready for the next era. So yeah, I think we should watch one or the other of those films, at least for the podcast, and do a full episode on it at some point. So yeah, no, that's it. That's my movie news. Is doing this challenge, watching lots of movies, and I'm loving it. So
Heck yeah, that's awesome.
yeah, do we got any more films we
All
want to
right.
chat about?
Yep, I got one last one, and this one's for me.
Okay.
Apparently, not only is HBO Max doing the Snyderverse, releasing the new excuse me, releasing the new Snyder cut of Justice League on there with a potential, if it does well, of expanding the universe. There's all sorts of rumors about Ben Affleck coming back and reprising his role, doing reshoots, and if this really catches on to just like make the Snyderverse, the HBO DC universe kind of over there, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, new news came out this week. Apparently, the Robert Pattinson Batman, which is a different universe,
Yeah.
also is doing a TV show on HBO Max based on the police of Gotham PD. They're saying that the director has come up with a universe that is so vast and interesting that it will be something they want to expand and really explore. And it would be a prequel to the movie. So my question for you guys is, well, I guess to clarify, first off, I just assumed we'd have the Snyderverse on TV and the Robert Pattinson, um, Matt Reeves universe on the big screen. Apparently, that's not the case. They're going to be doing the Marvel thing and kind of mixing it up. So my question is for you: is this getting too confusing for a casual fan to have two universes of Batman going at the same time? It sounds like the Matt Reeves, Robert Pattinson Batman will just be a Batman universe, whereas the Snyderverse would be a Justice League universe. I don't know. What do you guys think?
As a casual fan of the DC universe, I would say yes. Because
Are you
I'm
okay with
not
it still?
I don't know. I guess I'm okay because I'm looking forward to the movies and everything. Just don't expect to like randomly throw in stuff in one side or the other and expect me to have seen all of the movies and understand, because since it hasn't like stayed as one coherent universe, I haven't watched everything that they've put out. You know what I'm saying? So like
Mhm.
that's what I'm saying. It's like a casual fan, not like a real in-depth or hardcore fan of the DC universe. I'm sure that I will enjoy Batman, Robert Pattinson's movie, and Matt Reeves. And if they put out a TV series and if it's cool, I would watch it. But I'm not saying that I will be into it and try to understand and go full depth on like linking all the theories and why is this happening. Like I'll just watch it and I'll enjoy it or I won't enjoy it.
That's the hard part, right? Is I feel like we're kind of getting into like, I keep using Rick and Morty references, but this is kind of alternate universes, right? Like
Uh-huh.
it's a split in the time, like, and it's just obnoxious to like try to keep up at times. And I have a hard time with that because like sometimes I'll be thinking like, oh, this happened in the Affleck Batman series, but really it happened in the Nolan Batmans, right? And now we're gonna get another universe of Batman, and it's just kind of like Spider-Man. I feel like in ways like we love Batman, and like please don't think that I hate Batman. Please don't think I hate Spider-Man. But I'm tired of us rehashing out and beating the same dead horses here with these stories. And like things are just slightly different because of different creative directions, which is fine. But then again, if I look back on the comic books and I think about some of those like larger stories as well, there are different iterations of Batman. There are different types of Batman. So I guess I could be more accepting of it. I just would have to literally probably, before like jumping back and forth between the universes, have to do a little bit of reading or need like a 2-minute like catch up. Like
Like a
that's what they
refresher.
should be doing, like a 2-minute refresher. Last time on Batman Snyder verse, last time on Batman Pattinson verse, last time on, whatever, like the like old school in that way, but still like how are we supposed to keep track of the same story being told 90
Yeah,
different ways?
it was easy to keep track of it before this announcement because you could just be like, oh, the Matt Reeves universe is on the big screen, the Snyderverse is on HBO Max,
Yeah.
separate universes. And I mean, if you're a fan, if you're following, it'll be easy to follow along. But I'm with you guys. I think it'll be a little confusing for fans to be like, "Oh, there's this Gotham TV show. I'm gonna watch this," and then be like, "Well, when does Ben Affleck show up?" Kind of a thing. But I'm excited for the idea, like the Batman universe itself, just Batman and his rogues gallery alone. You can make an entire universe off of that with, there's so many characters, so many villains. Then there's Robin and Nightwing and Batgirl and all these other, characters that could come into play that you could just make a universe on that by itself, which I almost would, I don't want to say I would prefer, but I'm first and foremost a Batman fan over an extended DC Universe fan. I don't know a ton about Green Lantern and Lobo and I wish I knew more on Superman. I just never really grew up with those ones, but I was a Batman fan since I was a kid,
Yeah.
So I like the idea of the franchise just sticking with Batman and his stuff. And then if I want to get into the Justice League bigger universe flashy stuff, I can jump over into the Snyder stuff. I just hope it doesn't confuse people so much that it becomes
Flashy
a problem.
stuff.
Yeah. Punning without even meaning to.
Sorry, it made me laugh.
Anyway, that's it. That's all I've got. Interesting news this week. I would like to do this more. Just kind of like take a couple of topics and just kind of discuss and get our takes on what's going on in the industry and what we like and what we don't like and what we're excited for and what we're not excited for, and still have our weekly movie podcasts, but just have casual conversation about whatever on this one.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
I'm definitely down. Let's do it.
Bada bing, bada boom. Well, guys, thank you again for just joining, talking movies. I loved it. I enjoyed any excuse I can to get together with the two of you. I'm here for. So yeah, thank you one and all for always listening and tuning in to us. I think we need to work on a way that we could like start recording these, like so people can see our faces and kind of us as we talk. So we're looking into something for that, so we can put that up on YouTube, so you can see me like crazy shaking my one hand as I get excited and talking about things and whatever else. But yeah, so thank you as always for tuning in to the Pod Where I Play podcast. Follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, our YouTube, and check out what's going on the website as well. It looks amazing. Vince has done a great job with that. And as always, we'll catch you next time on the Pause Where I Play podcast.